日本代表のヌートバーが8月4日にカージナルスからダイヤモンドバックスに移籍となり、早速ドジャースと対戦しました。シリーズ中は大谷や山本らと楽しそうに親交を深める姿がありましたが、ヌートバーのミドルネームのゆえんの祖父達治さんが他界したという悲しいニュースもありました。ヌートバーは達治の名の彫ってあるグローブを愛用しているそうです。ヌートバーのお別れの言葉と入団会見を訳しましたのでご覧ください。
Hey Cardinal fans, Lars Newpar here. It's an emotional time for me. I just want to thank you guys for everything. From being an 8th round draft pick in 2018 to being on the team in 21 on that 17-game win streak, being able to play with legends in the game in 2022, winning the division, all the way to this day forward. You guys have had my back and gave me great support from a kid that wasn't a high prospect at all. You guys embraced me like I was, and St. Louis was a special place. It's the only place I've ever known, and I bought a house there and everything, and you know, this is tough, but I just want to thank you guys so much for everything that you guys have done. You guys mean way more to me than I've ever meant to you guys, and thank you.
Fire away.
Yeah,
cool.
I'm Lars. Fire away.
Welcome to the Valley.
Appreciate that.
How did you feel about receiving the news that you were coming to the Diamondbacks?
I was super excited. You know, obviously there was rumors going around that, you know, my name was getting thrown around, and didn't really know exactly what to expect. You never really do, honestly. Like, this is my first time ever getting traded. St. Louis is the only organization I've ever known, and so a lot of mixed emotions when you first get the news, but you know, when I found out I was coming here, I honestly, I said it immediately after, and you know, I'll continue to say it. I don't think there could be a better spot for me, and I'm super excited about it. Obviously, having a former teammate in Nolan and one of my best friends, you know, makes the transition a little easier, even though I still haven't seen him yet, which is, you know, classic Nolan, that on my first day he's not even here, but you know, like I said, I was really excited about it, and you know, I'm ready to get going.
Has he at least been texting you about what it's been like to be here and what to expect?
Yeah. Immediately after, we were texting each other, and we had the same agents too, so we have that, you know, connection, and FaceTimed him last night, and you know, it's been cool. And even when the Diamondbacks came to St. Louis the first night, he came over and we had dinner at my house over there, and so he was kind of giving me the rundown of everything, not knowing that that was going to be my future team. So I kind of got an early glimpse of that. But we've been talking this whole season. So I had a pretty good understanding of this organization, the coaches and stuff like that. And now obviously I get to experience it firsthand.
As you said in your first answer, it's like a perfect fit or the perfect place to end up. What makes you say that? What makes the fit so good?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, having Nolan here helps. You know, just like going to a new place, new organization, first time for me, having somebody that is here that I'm very familiar with and comfortable with, you know, that helps. And then also, I grew up in Southern California, so being here is great. You know, I have some people that I know in this area. I grew up, you know, watching the NL West all the time, so you know, I used to actually dislike Nolan and Goldie because I grew up a Dodger fan, and they would always, you know, kill the Dodgers. And now to be able to be in the NL West is pretty awesome. And I just think, you know, playing this ballpark, playing with these guys, you know, I just think it's like a perfect fit for me in terms of like play style and everything. I just think that it ended up working out, you know, perfectly.
I know you mentioned, or not you mentioned, but you've spent a little bit of time here, Arizona Fall League in the past and things like that.
Yeah.
Any memories of Arizona or any place that you're excited to check out or that you recall fondly from your time here before?
You know, during the Fall League, you know, me and my buddy, I actually had my hitting guy come out and live with me for the first half of that, and so didn't get to experience too much out here. I've had some buddies out here, and we've gone golfing and done some stuff out here. So obviously, I don't have my clubs or anything out here right now. I got one suitcase with me, so we'll press pause on that. But yeah, I mean, Sushi Sen, when I came here 2 weeks ago, me and Nolan He took me out to Sushi Sen, so I'll be hitting that up again. But I got a few buddies actually from college and back home that live out here, so that's another thing too. This isn't home where I'm from, but it's close enough to where I know a bunch of people that went to school here, started work here, whatever, started their own families here, and so it's like a really fortuitous spot for me to land in.
What do you make of kind of how your season has gone so far? A later start than you'd like, but how do you feel like you've been performing so far?
Yeah, coming off the IL, actually came out, felt really good. Recently scuffled a little bit, but I think that's a little as expected, and so I'm kind of at that mark where right around 200 at bats or whatever it is, and so finally got to get my feet wet and get that game callus underneath you, and so not satisfied, but it's almost perfect timing of not satisfied with how it's going, get a little scenery change, and then now hit the ground running with a team that's right now holding the wild card spot, and so it's exciting because it's all team ball from here on out, and I'm excited about it.
How did that recovery go from the surgery you had?
Yeah, it's tough, obviously. 2 boots, bilateral, and so I was in a wheelchair for a little bit, and then I was in 2 boots for a little bit, and I was going to a PT spot in LA, and I was the weirdo out of all the guys getting their shoulder or whatever done because I was walking in with 2 boots and crutches, and so but it was a long, kind of grueling's a little dramatic, but long process, and just took for granted little simple things that you're able to do, and so now when I'm waking up and walking around and doing certain things, I don't take it for granted, and being able to play and play with as little pain as I have in a while, it's been great, and that's only going to get better, and so it was a process to get my legs underneath me, get some swings underneath me once I became healthy and stuff like that, but right now, I feel pretty good, and I'm excited, and be around a good group of guys too to learn from. Obviously, a lot of veterans and a lot of young talent too. They can catch me up to speed on this team and a bunch of different things.
When did you first think, I might be traded? Did you think, being with them for so long, when was the first inkling, like, this might be happening?
I think, probably a week or 2 ago, up to that point, Chaim had made it clear that this was a rebuilding year in St. Louis, and I think the way the Cardinals had played up until the All-Star break was pretty, everybody was pretty optimistic, and maybe some talks of maybe we do add or something like that. But after the All-Star break, we actually came here and lost some games, and then from that point didn't really put anything, I don't think, into Chaim's mind to make him flip his initial thoughts into the season. And so from that point forward, I kind of had a feeling that I was one of the guys that could potentially get dealt, and so which was nice. I was able to wrap my mind around it a little bit, whether it was going to happen or not. Obviously, it happened pretty late in the day yesterday, but it wasn't like it was unexpected or anything like that. And he had told me before the road trip it was probably about a 50-50 chance, and so I appreciated that. I didn't know which 50-50 it would go, but at least I knew there was a decent chance at it. So I was able to, like I said, kind of wrap my head around it a little bit and kind of soak some things in if it was going to be my last time there.
Was the injury bone spurs in the deal?
Yeah.
Okay. How difficult is that to have that done?
Yeah.
Like you said, at the same time.
Yeah.
And then come back to being an athlete again. What was the, recovery like as far as how long it took for you to get to 100% again?
Yeah, and they even said I won't be 100% until a year out of the surgery. So they're expecting me to make gains from here until the end of until the year out of the surgery date, and then beyond that, because I'm not rehabbing currently right now. Right, I'm doing some rehab, but I'm also playing baseball, and so. Like I said, the steps were basically 2 boots in a wheelchair, get out of the wheelchair, be in crutches, and then after the crutches, walk around town with no crutches but 2 boots on, and then take the boots off with high heel lifts and different things like that. And so it was a long process, a lot of time spent in that Alter G treadmill where they, you go in there and it kind of has the, it almost looks like a spaceship you're running around in, where it kind of takes the gravity away and you're running around in there. And so obviously I got it October 7th and spent 60 days on the IL this year, and there's still little things that I can feel, but in terms of how I felt last year, the year prior, it's not even close. So very happy that I got that surgery, but again, also excited that from here moving forward into the off season, everything else, that I will continue to get better and more healthy. So I'm excited about that.
What do those gains look like? Like, is it just less pain, or is there like a range of motion?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, both. Range of motion and pain. And so with that will come more burst and speed. And, past off seasons, I've been able to run and work on speed or agility and everything like that during that time because of the pain. And so I think with the range of motion, with the lack of pain, all the different things, athleticism will come, and, speed and all the different things. And so that's the exciting part for me.
How long were you dealing with that before you had the surgery?
I started dealing with it in 2023, midway through that year. It was very subtle at that point, and then just became increasingly more and more, to the point where I just thought that, it was the point where I was like, you know what, like, I shouldn't be 27 gripping the railing, going up, stairs and stuff like that. So I was like, whether it's for baseball or for my life, I should probably get this fixed. And so you want to be on first base helping the team out as much as possible.
Do you wonder about a new set of eyes or?
Yeah, no, for sure. And talking to Nolan too, and he's told me throughout this year, like this isn't the first time we've seen each other, right? Like we've talked throughout the whole season, and he's had nothing but great things to say about the hitting side, like the entire staff. And so, and that's no shade at all at St. Louis's staff or anything like that. But again, like I said, new environment or even new coaches, new set of eyes, anything that can help me, I'm all ears and excited about.
Having just played a bunch of games against these guys for the last however many weeks, just what are your impressions of them as an opponent first?
I just told Garcia in there, I was like, man, I'm glad I don't have to face you anymore, man. I was telling him when we were facing Diamondbacks, all the lefties in the lineup were like counting down to be like, okay, who's he matching up against, and trying to avoid him. But yeah, it's a competitive bunch. And obviously at that time when I was with the Cardinals, we had a 7-0 lead, and these guys were feisty enough and came back and clawed back. And so that's kind of the mentality and cool thing that I've seen as the opposition, that these guys are never out of any game, and they've played well enough to will themselves and play into a wild card spot too. And so coming down to it, I'm excited for that.